everyone, History Mystery Man back with you again. Finally, it's been a while. It's good to see you. Coming to you today from the little town of Seymour, Indiana, the crossroads of southern Indiana, platted way back in 1852. It was named after John Seymour. They convinced him to build his east and west railroad route through here way back when. So they named the town after him. So there's some interesting history here. And talk about interesting history. Seymour is the site of the world's first moving train robbery. That's right, first moving train robbery happened here in Seymour back in 1866. So we'll dig into that a little bit, but it's not just about the history, it's about what's going on today here on a Saturday afternoon. Downtown shop around. All the shops are open. We'll visit one of the coolest diners on planet Earth. There's live theater here tonight in Seymour, Indiana. Can you believe it? Yeah, that's right, live theater in Seymour, Indiana. I can already hear the music. Oh yeah, this is the home, boyhood home of singer, songwriter, musician, actor, painter. John Mellencamp was born and raised right here in Seymour, Indiana. In fact, they have the Southern Indiana Center for Arts that holds the world's largest public display of his private collections of paintings, the largest in the world right here in Seymour. So there's that, and there's so much more. But even if you strip away all the things going on today in Seymour, I still love this place, all the beautifully restored buildings dating back to the late 1800s that line Chestnut Street. Can you believe it? There's so much to do here. I'm absolutely in love with this place. I adore it already, and I just got here. Looking forward to seeing what this place is all about. Rest assured, the History Mystery Man is here at your service and on duty. Welcome to Seymour, Indiana. Let's go see what's inside.
The first train robbery happened about a mile this way, up the tracks. The old state police post with an antenna. These guys got on the train here in Seymour, and they got about a mile down the track. I guess there used to be a lantern on the train. You could signal the engineer to stop, and they did. And they went into the side door, which wasn't locked, and obviously hit the guy in their car on the head and threw one of well, actually threw two of the safes off. They had what they called a through safe and a local safe, and he threw both of them off. And the through safe was very heavy, so they couldn't do much with it. They found it, but they never did find the other safe. And so that's how, on October the 6th, what happened with the first train robbery. I understand Lawrenceburg claims the first train robbery, but the train wasn't moving.
Oh, well, you got the first mover and shaker then.
I guess. Yeah.
Born and raised in Seymour, Indiana?
Yeah,
How do you like Seymour?
Well, I like it. I was the mayor for 13 years. 13
Really?
years, 2 months, yeah.
No kidding.
I worked for Cummins for 32 years, and only had to live away from here for 6 years at one period of time, but I've lived here most all my life.
Has it been a good life for you? I hope it
Yeah.
still is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Why have you stayed here all these years in little Seymour, Indiana?
Well, I like a small town, and all my friends here, my relatives are here, so I feel very comfortable here.
Yeah. So you like Seymour?
I do like Seymour.
I like hearing that from the locals who actually love the towns they grew up in and grew their roots. I just think those are great stories. I love it.
The interesting thing about the Reno brothers, and we have a cell out back you can look at when we get done, is the final three, actually the final four, escaped to Canada, and they wanted to extradite them back to Indiana, so they actually put them in a federal jail, which was in New Albany, which is a picture of the inside of it there. I don't remember what the exact date, December in 1868, some folks in Seymour got on a train, went to Jeffersonville, changed trains, went to New Albany, broke them out of the jail, and hanged them. The interesting thing is this guy right here, guy Frank Sparks, they had to hang him twice. The rope broke the first time, and so, but they hung him, they hung John Reno, Frank Reno, and another fellow that they broke out of the jail, and they got back on the train, come back to Seymour. Laura Reno was a sister, and she went down and claimed her bodies and brought them back to Seymour for a burial out here in the old city cemetery. That's the story on the reading deck.
You know, it's always interesting to me where people come from, the people who make it in the world, who excel in their careers. John Mellencamp came from Seymour, Indiana, and he grew his roots in the little tiny box you see right behind me. 5 brothers and sisters and parents grew up here. I love some of Mellencamp's interviews when he talks about those basement windows that he and his brothers and sisters would climb out of and carry on with their mischief throughout the night. But later the family moved just north of town in a much bigger home, but it was here where Mellencamp grew his roots, in Seymour, Indiana. John Mellencamp's many hours spent as a youth in downtown Seymour. They even put a permanent parking meter just for him. I don't know if Mellencamp made the Hollywood Walk of Fame, but he made it here in Seymour, Indiana. I sure liked my lunch here earlier.
Good, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Well, I tell you, SpongeBob used to be my favorite fry cook, but now you are. So
Well, thank you.
this is a fascinating place. I don't know how you. I noticed when they call out the orders, you have to memorize them, I guess, because nothing is written down. How do you do that?
We have a bun code, so when somebody calls out a hamburger or cheeseburger or with onion or without onion, then we place the bun down that way, and so we don't have to hang a ticket or anything.
I got you. And this is your restaurant, yes?
Yes, it is.
It's not often the owner is also the fry cook.
Well, right now we're short of help, so
Okay.
I'm doing a lot of work.
How long have you been in business here?
22 years.
Wow.
And my brother right here was in business with me too, up to about, 4 years ago? I think so, 3 or 4 years ago.
Are you born and raised in Seymour?
No, I was born in Louisville
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How long have you been here in Seymour?
since I was 4 or 5.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
long enough.
So, yeah.
How do you like Seymour, Indiana?
Love it.
I hear that from everyone I've talked to
Yeah,
today.
great place. I raised my kids here. They went to IU, so a lot goes on right around Seymour.
I can tell. And, so how's business for you?
Good.
Oh, I'm
Good.
so glad to hear it.
Yep.
You're open every day?
No, Monday through Saturday.
Oh, that's plenty good enough. How do you keep up with it? It sounds exhausting.
It is. I'm exhausted today.
I bet you are.
I don't know. We like each other. We all work pretty well together, and we know a lot of our customers. They've been coming in for years. My mom and dad owned it prior to us. So,
Oh, really? So it's been in the family all these years?
Yeah, it's been in the family since 1974.
Oh, that's fascinating.
Yeah.
I love those small town family, been in the family stories.
Yeah, 44 years in our
Wow.
family. So, yeah.
That is so cool. You gonna get up and do it again tomorrow?
Well,
no, tomorrow's Sunday.
Sunday. Now
Go-
we do open about 4 Sundays out of the year,
Oh, okay.
and that's after Thanksgiving. So we'll be open.
Well,
yeah.
listen, I really enjoyed my lunch. It was the best $3 cheeseburger I ever ate in my life. Are you kidding?
Did you
What
eat
a,
onions
What a
on it?
bargain. I was crazy. I didn't get the onions. I was,
Yeah.
you
Those
know,
things are sauteed.
I
and-
know. Someone told me you can smell them coming down the
Oh
street.
yeah, it's good advertising.
Yeah, it is. And I hope, all in the family. Okay, thank you so much.
You're
I
welcome.
had a great day here
Thank
in
you
Seymour,
for stopping
Indiana.
in. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
the Southern Indiana Center for the Arts, and this room holds the paintings, the largest public display in the world of Mellencamp's private collection. This painting of a young lady came from John's Uncle Joe and Aunt Rose. Maybe Aunt Rose, or at least they think it is, in her younger years, but he's got some really interesting stuff. And he always says he likes to paint people. He's not interested in landscapes, people. But it's the people who tell all the stories anyway and hold all the answers. Very interesting. I like that. The Band with No Name. Perfect. Man in Red Shirt. That's a clever title. So, John, you've been hanging around Seymour a long time. I've got to believe you've crossed paths with John Mellencamp.
I have.
Yeah, you know his dad, or?
I know his dad very well. John is a lot younger than I am. He's the same age as my younger brother. I have met John on several occasions. In fact, I played golf with John, with his dad, several years ago. His dad and I used to play on Tuesday in golf league, and John would show up periodically and play golf with him.
Is he any good at golf?
He's about as good as I am.
So he's better at swinging a guitar than a club, huh?
That's right.
I'm fascinated with small town America. I think there's a lot of charm and personality to it. Do you feel safer in small town America?
Oh, absolutely. Whenever I go to Indianapolis or Louisville or Cincinnati, well, I'm very concerned about my safety, especially with my family anymore downtown. Yeah.
Is that what it is? You know everybody, so you feel safer?
I'm very comfortable with the people around here, yeah.
Yeah, and you've known them for decades.
That's true. The people I've known for a long time. Yeah.
You guys are getting to know each other around here, aren't
That's
you?
right.
Oh, but you got that good, safe, small town feel thing going here.
Well, not that we don't have our issues here in a small town.
Everybody
but
does.
It's a lot better than being in the city.
I can believe it. Welcome to the Roxy Arena just outside of Seymour. You may recognize the building. It showed up in Mellencamp's small town video. It was here he would gather with his friends and go roller skating. I think we can all relate to that. The building is all but abandoned now, but this is where it used to happen, in part for Mellencamp. Isn't it interesting? Open sesame. Hey there, just wondered how you're doing here with your business.
Oh, getting into my busiest time of the year right now.
Busy time of year? Is that because of the holiday thing?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, what's the name of the business?
It's Artistic Impressions.
And are you from Seymour?
Yes, I've lived here my whole life.
Really? That's interesting to me. Small town America. How do you like Seymour?
Oh, I've always been happy here.
I like hearing that.
I do custom picture framing mostly, but that allows me to sell some of my photography and some sketches that I do and that sort of thing.
Very cool. It looks like you're in a pretty cool spot here in downtown on Chestnut Street.
I've also pretty well known down here for the local historian.
Oh, really?
I give walking tours of the downtown.
Wow,
and that
how
sort of
interesting. Have you ever met Mellencamp?
A few times when I worked out at Spencer Craft and Hobby 30-some years ago.
Yeah, okay.
And he lived in what's now the Center for the Arts up behind the store, and he'd bring his kids down and buy them stuff. So.
Oh, really? How cool. Business going okay for you overall?
Last few years have been the best ones I've ever had. I've been here for 13 years now.
I'm really glad to hear that. Do you feel safer in small town America?
I've never felt afraid down here, so.
Yeah. Welcome to Emerson Elementary School. This would be the school that John Mellencamp went to grade school, just a stone's throw from the little house he grew up in with his 4 brothers and sisters. Are you from Seymour?
I am.
How do you like living in Seymour?
I've lived here 74 years.
74 years in Seymour. Now that sounds like a book to me. How do you like it?
I love it.
Oh, I love hearing the locals say nice things about their town.
I used to come here to this restaurant when I was a little girl.
And now you're all grown up and you're still coming to this restaurant.
Now I'm working here.
All right, so you lived here all this time and you taught school here?
I taught 36 years. Kindergarten, first, second, third, and fourth.
Wow. Was Mellencamp one of your students?
No, his sister was.
His sister was, okay.
Yeah.
How cool.
Sure.
Has Mellencamp ever been here?
Absolutely.
Oh.
He came with Meg Ryan one time.
Did he?
Yeah.
Does he eat greasy cheeseburgers?
You know what? I don't know what he had
Oh,
to eat.
that's all right. Well, this is the coolest little restaurant I've been to in a long time, and so you do love living in Seymour.
I do.
Oh,
Absolutely.
that's wonderful. Thank you so much.
I did. And up there's his movie that he made, and his
Yeah,
pictures. Did you
Falling
see-
from Grace.
Yes.
I'm gonna dig into that. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Well,
I guess I
thank you.
better pay too, right?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I got to keep the economy moving. Well, while we're here, we might as well give you the full tour. Welcome to Seymour High School, home of the Owls, and where Mellencamp went to high school. He got kicked off the sports teams for smoking cigarettes. Well, I guess he didn't make linebacker for the Indianapolis Colts, but he still did pretty good for himself. You know, when you're talking music, to me, no one captures the heart, the soul, the personality, the character, the grit of Middle America more than John Mellencamp does with his music. I don't know that he intended to, but he sure did, at least to me anyway. Another example of how much I love small town America. Seymour, Indiana reminds me of Bedford Falls on It's a Wonderful Life. I could march up and down this street all day long. By the way, that church behind me, the First Presbyterian, the locals tell me that John Mellencamp played in the basement of that church coming up through the ranks. I think part of the video Rockin' in the USA was filmed there as well. But back to small town America, I just love this place. To me, it leaves me wanting more all the time. I march up and down Chestnut Street in Seymour. I wish it could just keep going and going and going, but it doesn't. You only get a little bit, and I guess that's part of the charm. But I sure love this place. I enjoyed my day here in Seymour, and I hope you did too. For the History Mystery Man, I'm Don Radeball. I'll see you in the next Small Town America.